Audio reading for single rib stitch fingerless glove. A skill level is number 2. Yarn, Lion Brand Woolies yarn, hand dyed, 80% acrylic, 20% wool, in the colorway blue raspberry. 125 yards are needed. Wraps per inch are 16. It is a medium worsted weight yarn that is a 4-ply. Finish size is small, 10 inches long. Stitches used are the purl stitch and the U stitch. Tip: by marking every other peg, you can keep track of the pegs you do different stitches on. The pegs you purl and U stitch on this will remain the same for the entire project. For your cast on, you will be using a double E-wrap cast on in the round using 24 pegs, placing 2 peg wedge between pegs 9 and 24. Finger opening for round 1 through 15. You will be doing a single rib stitch, which is purl 1, U1, all the way around. Then you will take the stitch from wedge peg number 01 and place on peg 9. Take the stitch from wedge peg 02, place on peg 24. For your thumb, turn the loom adjuster in the opposite direction and place between pegs 10 and 23. Take your second loom adjuster and place between pegs 12 and 21. You will use a chain cast on for these pegs. So peg 01, 02 of the inner wedge to peg 10, 11, 12, 01, 02 of the outer wedge, peg 21, 22, 23. That will put you back at your initial inner peg 01. Then you will work 15 rounds of the single rib stitch, which is purl 1, U stitch 1. You will place the stitch from the inner wedge peg 01 to peg 23 and the stitch from peg wedge 02 to peg 10. Remove the empty wedge. Rounds 16 through 25, that's 10 rounds, you will purl 1, U stitch 1. You are now at your wrist. For the decrease, you will place the stitch from peg 12 onto peg 01 of the wedge. Place the stitch from peg 21 onto peg 02 of the wedge. Adjust the wedge so that it now sits between pegs 11 and 22. Round 17 and 18, you will purl 1, U stitch 1. Take the stitch from peg 11, place on peg 01, take the stitch from peg 22, place on peg 02. The wedge will now sit between peg 10 and 23 once moved. Round 19 and 20, purl 1, U stitch 1. Take the stitch from peg 10, place on peg 01, place the stitch from peg 23 on peg 02. Adjust the wedge so that it now sits between your original pegs 9 and 24. For your arm and cuff area, you will do round 21 to round 50 of your single rib stitch purl 1, U stitch 1. The bind off used is a basic bind off, and here is a QR code that you can scan to go directly to the video. Questions and comments, please leave in the comment section below. All video links you could think of are in the video description below, as well as links to where you can download the PDF for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope you found this helpful.